you and I both know in athletics, it's about what you're willing to sacrifice, but it's also about what you're willing to endure. And as we see the variant popping up, and there's COVID, but then there's continued setbacks, the usual adversity, the usual challenges. How were you guys able to keep everybody up? How are you able to? So many folks think they could just put an expiration date on this thing, and we can't. And
Yeah.
yet people are still falling into that trap. So what was it that you do, or what is it that you do to keep your people elevated and keep working at it?
Well, I think there's a couple things. First is just on the science side of things, and uh, with FDA approval this week of the Pfizer vaccine, I don't think there's any more information that people need to know that these vaccines are going to what's going to get us to a place of beating COVID. That's my belief. I'm not speaking on behalf of the league, but my belief is that the more vaccination that we can have from a staff perspective and a player perspective, it's not mandatory at the moment. But the more vaccination we can have, the better we're going to be in a place to be safe and spread the virus less.
Right.
And so when we talked about that, that was the first thing we talked about. It was even before FDA approval happened with Pfizer. We just said, hey, look, there's enough credibility around this vaccination that we want and we will encourage everyone to get, we want to encourage you to get vaccinations unless they're religious or health reasons. And we're at a place where 97% of our staff and players are vaccinated, right? Doesn't mean we don't have testing protocol. We still do, but we're able to ease up some of our restrictions because our vaccination rate is so high. So that was one.
Mm-hmm.
Second one is just staying up to your question, is just trying to be really transparent and just saying, hey, if you don't have the answer, for me at least, and Paul, when we talk to our staff and players, it's like, hey, look, we don't know the answer yet, but here's how we're planning it. And so being really transparent around our plans. Here's option A, here's option B. If there's three options, here's option A, here's option B, here's option C. Here's what we're waiting for. Here's the information we need to make the decision. And it'll be one of these. And that's all people really want. They don't want you to tell them everything's going to be okay. They don't want you to tell them everything's not going to be okay. They want you to tell them this is exactly what's going on and we're planning. And as long as you can do that, I think it keeps spirits elevated.